Perfect.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, viewers of all ages, from the guy who hawks loogies at 7 in the morning outside my condo to the millions watching at home on YouTube or through Patreon, welcome to the Everything and Nothing Show. I'm just one of your hosts with the mostest, Clayton Kisco, and I'm, of course, accompanied by the rest of the Maelstrom Gamers, starting with the bad boy himself, Cop's #1 fan, Steve Landis.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
What's up, everybody?
Hey, Steve, how's it going?
Hell
And
yeah.
of course, we're also accompanied by the heartthrob Rocco Avellino.
I wish you guys could see this dance.
And rounding out is the man that you always hear but never see, the Enigma, Ian.
What? How you guys
How's
doing?
it going, Ian?
Doing good.
And the Tower Alan Toner will not be here. He's still traveling around Japan with his girlfriend, so he'll be here next week. This show is dedicated, for those who watched the previous episode, then you kind of know about this. This show is going to be dedicated entirely to Satoru Iwata, who passed away recently. He was the president of Nintendo. So every topic today is going to be centered around Nintendo. And that's the format of the Everything and Nothing show. So for those of you who don't know, the show is about a bunch of group of friends, best friends who are jumping on Skype from all over the North America and from all over different walks of life. We each bring a topic for our discussion. And each topic is doled out Monday through Friday, topic by topic, until Saturday we release the whole thing as a full episode. If you don't want to wait, you can actually get this stuff early by going on to patreon.com/MaelstromGamers, and you can give us a couple bucks. You'll get it early. You can get the MP3, you can get the video, you can even get a very special episode just for you, and it's only like $1 to like $5. Anything helps, and it supports the show. It allows us to get better mics, better equipment, better internet, wink wink, nudge nudge, Rocco.
Yeah.
And allows us to just keep doing what we're doing, and it supports us, and it really helps us. Other things you can do to stay kind of like in tune with us is go on to twitter.com. I don't know what just happened.
I'm under attack! I'm under attack! Somebody save Steve, please!
I don't know what just happened.
For just a $10.99 a month.
Everybody.
Yeah. If you want to know. Oh, okay. Okay.
Hi, guys.
What I was about to say is that you can go over to Twitter, follow us at Maelstrom Gamers to stay up to date with everything and anything Maelstrom Gamers related. You can also go to our Facebook page and like us there. You can share all of our stuff. We'll be posting on that website. Any like, share, comment, subscribe really helps us and spreads the word. And if you like what you're seeing here, you can get more of us over at twitch.tv/The Maelstrom Gamers, and you can see what we do best, which is show off our mediocre gaming skills. We aren't the best, but we're certainly not the worst. We are entertaining. So we'll be playing all different types of games, everything from League of Legends to Destiny and all that stuff. Batman Arkham. So that's the intro. So let's start this episode off centered around Nintendo. And for those who kind of like know Nintendo, heard about maybe this news or didn't hear about this news, and want to know who is Satoru Iwata, he is or was the fourth president of Nintendo, and there's only been 4, which is crazy to think about. He went to the Tokyo Institute of Technology for college. His dad was a mayor. He started working while in college at HAL Laboratories, who eventually started working with Nintendo, and so he's always been a programmer. That's what he went to the Tokyo Institute of Technology for. He's used his programming to create games in the past. He's very game-centric, so he was a perfect fit for Nintendo, who didn't really have, at the time, there wasn't really a lot of programmers who were so game-centric. So he helped and had skills in that department. He worked on, eventually, before he started working with Nintendo, HAL Laboratories got hit with a little bit of financial burden, and so they filed for bankruptcy. Nintendo bailed them out on a condition that Satoru actually became the president of HAL Laboratories, so they became like which happened, and they became like a first-party developer for Nintendo at that point. And to eventually actually just joining Nintendo in 1980, and he helped program and work on their projects like Earthbound and Balloon Fight, and even Kirby's Dream Land. And that project, Kirby's Dream Land, was interesting because at the time, a lot of the games were very, the arcades were huge, and so people were developing games similar to how games are developed now, which is funny how it came full circle, which is to say people were making, paywalls, challenging levels purposely designed to put quarters back into the game, right? So at the time, games were difficult, and the Kirby's Dream Land project was, the idea was that he was going to create a game, help program a game that was that anybody of all age or all age and talent level can just jump into the game and play it from start to finish very easily. And so I thought that was interesting that he helped create that project. And he went on to help on other more famous projects like Smash Brothers and Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon Gold and Silver. He kind of rose up the ranks until like 2000, 2002. He became the director and fourth president of Nintendo, like I was saying earlier, and he oversaw projects like the Nintendo 3DS and the Wii. And which is arguably, like, Nintendo 3DS is one, in my opinion, one of their best handheld and arguably their best console to date. Whereas the Wii helped innovate further, which is what Nintendo's great at doing. They innovate constantly through the gaming industry. But the Wii also, even though it kind of got hit with a lot of like critical, like, you know, people weren't really high on the waggle, it did do something very special, which was bring a whole nother group of individuals into the gaming culture and into gaming. It spread a wider net, so to speak, to people to make it easier for them to jump in. So I mean, all of a sudden the Wii's bringing in grandmas, grandpas, fathers, like little kids, like everybody is enjoying gaming now, and it's kind of shedding the old like image of a person in their basement just playing games, you know, with pimples or whatever, like that horrible negative stereotype. And then eventually, the Wii and the Wii U started. It didn't do as well as a success profitably for Nintendo, so they were hit with some financial issues. And instead of laying off people, Satoru Iwata actually took a 50% pay cut, which I thought was really, really interesting. He was just adamant about not laying off. Yeah, and like Rocco, we were talking about this earlier, and you had mentioned, like, in America, that happens at a drop of a hat. It's just so familiar to us that a CEO would rather lay off a bunch of people.
490% increase in their pay instead of a 50% decrease.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so, and what's even rarer to date is that it happened again in about a year or two, and Satoru actually cut his paycheck again by 50%. So down to, like what you're saying, Rock, like 25% of what he was normally doing.
That speaks worlds about him and the person he is.
Yeah,
yeah, man, that's honorable right there. That's got to be like, that shows like the backing behind the idea of Nintendo and how like how much you would sacrifice to make that achieve success. That's pretty beautiful because
it's not made by one man. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody's had.
Yeah, and
right.
And then in 2014, he was diagnosed with an illness, and in 2015 he passed away. He was 55 years old. So this episode is dedicated in honor of Satoru Iwata, and so we'll be talking about Nintendo stuff throughout the week. So I would like to start with my topic, and my topic is your first Nintendo experience. Okay. And I can go.
I'll go.
Yeah, all right.
Let me take this
you
up.
go.
Yeah, Rocco.
I got this.
All right, so my
Rocco,
first
you're a
Nintendo
little
experience was I was I'd have to say between ages 4 and 6 years old. It actually was with Steve-O and the bad boy right there. It was not really so much with him as it was with my aunt, his mother. She had introduced me to the original Nintendo console. It was hers at the time. And it was Mario Brothers I got to experience. So for me, that was really, it was like impactful because I was such a young kid at the time. And I got to play a game that, first off, didn't have any save points, which was a big deal because I was still young, 1. 2, the game was not that easy, especially for like a young individual like I was playing Nintendo, or Mario, sorry. But it was awesome because it helped me develop like puzzle solving skills to my hand-eye coordinations as a young kid, and it was like the start of what I didn't know the next 30 years down the road kind of thing, or not 30 at that time, 25 years down the road would be gaming would have such an impact on my life and the choices I was going to make. And it all started originally with Mario Brothers, which is kind of awesome that we're doing the Nintendo right now because it had a huge impact, at least on me personally. Being the first console that I ever played when it came to gaming, I mean, before even arcades, I was still young. If 4 years old, you're not playing in the arcades. Your parents bring a game to you, you'll join in and play. But it had an impactful time because it was a wonderful experience. They had a ton of different games you get to play, but Mario Brothers for me was awesome because of just the map playing that you got to do out of it. You got to get through a very short map and be able to achieve it, and then keep moving on. It for me was cool, but not, like I said in the beginning, the saving point issue was a big deal. Like, because I've had plenty of parents turn that bitch off on me, and I was pissed off at a 4-year-old.
They don't get it either.
And being able to like take shortcuts to the game, like in the second level when you're underground, you get that one spot where you can hit a break the break, jump, and just run across the whole entire top.
Yeah, exactly.
Just get to the end.
Exactly. Or wasn't that in Super Mario 3? Wasn't that where you could fly and you could like get up to the top?
Is it, or was that Super Mario World with the cape? I can't remember.
Okay. Whatever one we could start flying on.
Yeah.
You could get up to the sky.
Yeah.
That was the one where you could just like buy back the whole map.
Yep.
Yeah, man. So that was me. My first experience with Nintendo was definitely Mario Brothers. When I was real young, I was introduced by a family member, my aunt, and it was the pinnacle. It was the pretty much the start of my entire gaming life. Nintendo. Its roots are deep within me.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I had similar. Mario was my first experience, and at the same time, we got Marble Madness. Again, I explained this before that it's a game where you just have to get this damn little marble to the finish line within a certain amount of time, and it was very hard. But I would say one of the biggest first experiences I had was playing baseball game with my dad. My dad and brother, they used to beat me. It would be like ridiculous, like 30-0, and I'd get so mad and so upset, and I wanted to beat them so bad. So what I did.
What game was this?
It was a baseball game. Just I don't know. I can't remember. What it was called.
Major League Baseball or something like that.
It was like Major League Baseball, something.
Super Baseball.
Yeah,
Super MLB Baseball or something.
Yeah, and I remember my dad going, "You're not going to win every time." So what I sat there and did was I played that game as much as I could, and when I beat him, it was like a huge accomplishment. I loved it, and I was addicted ever since then. But I got like a early life lesson, like Clay had said, at a young age, that if you work hard and keep practicing at it, you can eventually win and beat them. And I did, and I rubbed it in their face.
And that's something though. I think like a young gaming, though, is like a big life lesson you do get to learn there though.
Yeah.
Because in that gaming world, especially in the beginning, they didn't make it easy for you to win at all.
Yeah.
It
Practice
didn't matter
makes
if you were
perfect,
playing the big brother or the dad. Just the game itself was challenging enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome. Yeah, and like Ian, it's cool how that like ripples through. Like we were talking, practice makes perfect, and that's a lesson. And like you just recently you just passed an exam that you've been like practicing over and over again. And I'm sure those habits and those kind of techniques carry through to this day, and it's rewarding. It's really cool to see yourself like sit there, feel defeat, and be like, okay, I gotta play this more. I gotta get better. I will keep working at it. And then
I gotta dedicate my life.
Yeah, and then to have you beat your dad and your brother or whatever, like that's awesome.
Yep.
And we're all
That's like LOL for us right now.
right. Yeah.
Okay,
legends.
suck up the defeat and keep on moving forward.
Yeah, but it's not like that because you're just like, I don't want to play anymore, guys.
I'm done.
I don't play anymore. I'm not.
So Steven, man, what's your first experience?
Me apparently because I hung out with rich kids was track meet, and you had this game. You had the pad, and you'd stomp on it as quick as possible, and like you would jump over hurdles, but you had to jump with it. But eventually you get pissed off and just use your hands really fast and everything to stomp on the pads.
Which is cool because that's another example of Nintendo kind of paving a way, like being innovative and like coming out with stuff before like that's years before Dance Dance Revolution, right? They had the pad, that text movement.
Right, or that fit, the Wii that they have with the Wii, the pad where you can stand on and do all the different, positions or whatnot.
Well, that was after Dance Dance Revolution.
Was that?
But that was an advancement over. I see what you're saying. Yeah, that was an advancement over the pad, right? Like,
same technology though. I like that. I like that Nintendo uses that.
Yeah, and weight sensitive at that point, which wasn't around. Yeah.
How much was that thing, by the way? You think?
Oh,
50, 75, $100.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have
like
no.
that,
I hear you guys.
probably something.
Sorry,
We'll
we
see.
just we
We'll
cut
see.
out for a second, but we're back.
Okay, good.
Well, I just remember like the system was $199, which is equivalent to $475 now in 2015.
What system? The Nintendo.
The NES, but that's
Oh,
only
wow.
if you got like they had like certain packages where you can get it. I forgot what they were called. Sorry, but like there were certain packages you can get, like where you get like a bundle type thing and everything, where you get
yeah.
Duck Hunt with it. You remember Duck Hunt?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes, Duck Hunt.
And playing Duck Hunt like this. Doo, 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 doo.
Yeah, you had to cheat the system. Yeah.
which everyone hated the dog and everything because the dog was always like laughing at you and shit like that.
Yeah.
Shoot that
Because
son
like,
of a
fuck
bitch
that
so
dog,
many
man.
times.
Yeah, bad dog. I'll shoot the dog.
Oh, man.
It's
But,
like what's the dog that like ended up having rabies in that one movie, and the dad had to shoot it, and it was like the terrible
Yeller?
thing to have to watch.
Old Yeller.
Old Yeller. It's like Old Yeller stuff going on, except for he's laughing at you the whole way to the bay. You don't remember this, Clay? What? Old Yeller? Oh man, it was so
I never
terrible.
watched
You're
that
like,
movie.
I
It's too
never
sad
want
for
my
me.
dog to get rabies ever. My dad's
Yeah.
gonna have to shoot it with a
His
gun.
parents killed him.
It was terrible.
What are you doing?
It all started with Duck Hunt.
I'm killing mosquitoes, man.
Yeah.
Freaking
Gotcha.
mosquitoes.
My first experience with Nintendo was it was an interesting one because like I have about like 2 or 3 that I'll describe. I might save one for later, but my very first like just gaming experience in general, like a video game was actually with Nintendo, and it was because I went over my cousin's house who had it, and this was just something that they're not big gamers, so it was just in the living room. They were playing anyway. So it wasn't a situation where I was like kind of like you need to play games or like this is what we do. It was just like hey we're playing, and so I was very curious. They were older. Naturally, I want to be like them, so I sat down and I played. And the game that it was Mario 3. This is the very first game I've ever like sat down and played, and it was the very first game that I ever beat as well. And I'm only like 3 or 4 at this age, and it speaks volumes to the amount of polish and the just talent that and like quality of the product that was put into Mario 3, because I was able to sit down and play and not feel like it wasn't too hard, and like the controls were tight, and the communication to the player was just spot on. I'm jumping on Goombas, and even that game loop of playing the game, going from point A to point B, which is to say go from left to right, and then jump on the flag and get all the points, and then like you beat the level. Yeah, it was like this like awesome moment. It's like do
Super
it again. Yeah, and it was just like cool. I can do this. I get this. I'm only 4 years old, and I can get this and keep going, and I can beat this game. And from that point on, I mean, I'm hooked, and I'm loving it. And it's crazy, and I think I'm lucky that it was Mario 3 that I was playing rather than some other game that was like a little bit too hard, like Double Dragon or like Pong, whereas Pong is like very just like more binary, right? It's like you versus the AI or you versus a player, and like you have a high chance, like you have a 50-50 chance to lose, right? Like,
yeah, exactly.
And if I lost, I might have felt like meh, like this is gaming's okay, but maybe this is not my shtick. But because I jumped on something as high quality as Mario 3, I think I just immediately fell in love, and like I just got addicted, for lack of a better word. I was like, this is awesome. I love playing games. I feel good when I play games, and they're a lot of fun.
I feel you too. That's the same experience I had too when I was young.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And Clay, how many times were you ticked off when you try to jump and make the top of the pole and you hit down?
Oh yeah.
You're like, oh, this whole level.
You had to get maximum.
I gotta
points.
restart over.
yeah. That was always really like tough. But when you got it, you're like, yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
You know what I mean? And
Ace the level and everything, and the top of the flag.
yeah. It was so good. It was awesome.
That's a great entrance game, though, and a great entrance game into the gaming community and gaming lifestyle. Super Mario 3, man.
Yeah.
I would have to say that
Absolutely.
was a quality game.
And then the other first experience that I had with like any Nintendo type of console was when it was like in 1989. I was about 4 years old, and I don't know how I was able to do this, but I saw the commercial for the Game Boy, and I just immediately was like, I want that, I need that, and like kids do, right? And my dad didn't see the commercial, but I was so just like thrilled about this that in Toys R Us, I was somehow able to describe to my dad what I wanted, because we walked all around looking for this thing.
Telepathically.
Yeah, no.
Sending him images.
No, and I'm just like, yeah, right.
Look
Like
into
I
my
wish.
eyes.
But I was like, no, that's not it. No, that's not it. No, that's. And then we walked into by this glass case, and it was the Game Boy. And he's like, is this what you want? I was like, yes, that's what I want. That is it. And it was like, I remember.
Oh, this
thing. It was like-
$500 device.
Yeah, it was like blue and like gray or
That's the
purple or
one,
something
Dad.
like that. Yeah, and I was like, I want that. And it was for my
Like
birthday,
this.
so my dad was like, okay, you know, and I got that game. And I even remember playing Kirby's Dream Land, which
Yeah.
is, you know, one of the first games on the Game Boy that I was able to beat by myself, which again says just a lot. Like that game really was able to be played by anybody, because I'm in kindergarten in my cot, and I remember beating that game and just being like, yes, like, and I felt amazing about it.
During nap time.
During nap time.
Yeah, exactly.
In the cot, and like, and yeah,
Nap
and
time.
so whereas other games would come out and they were really tough, like Terminator. I remember I couldn't even pass the first level, or like Home Alone 2, and for the
Yeah.
longest time I thought I was just bad at games. Until like a bunch of years ago, I started watching this guy called Angry Video Game Nerd. For those of you who don't know, he's this guy who plays this very angry nerd who like just vulgarly describes these terrible games that he plays. And he plays them, and he was playing some of these games that I had played as a kid on the Game Boy, not knowing that they were bad, thinking I was bad. And in reality, they were. These games sucked. They were so terribly designed because they were just ports from NES over to the Game Boy. Like little love has been put into these things, and I'm like, okay, this makes sense. I'm not terrible.
No
These games are
wonder
just
I
horrible.
could not manage to get past that second level.
Yeah, like, it's crazy.
That's the way I felt too, plenty of times, man. Being that young, getting into the gaming world too.
Yeah, and so I feel really lucky that Nintendo, like a lot of us, was the first type of gaming experience that I had gotten, and because of that, Nintendo feels like this puppy dog that has grown up with me over the years.
Old
and has
Blue.
matured with me. Yeah, old Blue, old Nintendo.
You're my
You know
boy,
what I
Blue.
mean? Yeah.
We don't shoot him with the duck hunting gun though.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, man, I feel you too. It's that love that's kind of been, it's grown up with you, you know, and it's helped like blossom your gaming experience from day one.
Yeah.
You know, and evolve and transform it. Like, definitely, Nintendo's got a beautiful spot in my heart, man.
Yeah.
It's a great company. Like, even if I don't know the direction they're gonna go, but from just the past itself and in the amount of experiences I had and the impact it's had on that company's had on me, definitely shout out, you know, to Nintendo
Yeah.
with lots of love.
Yeah. Awesome.